sounds like.
Alright. I call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I'll read the district mission statement. In partnership with the communities, the mission of the Dilworth Glen Felton School District is to educate individuals in an environment of trust and respect so they become self-directed, responsible, lifelong learners. All right, this is our first meeting in the year, so we're going to need to elect a chairperson for 2026. So I am asking for nominations. Any member may nominate any other board. So the floor is open.
I'm gonna nominate David.
Second.
No need for a third here. So we, just so everybody knows, once somebody's nominated, I'll ask again, and then I'll ask a third time. So is there any other nominations for board chair? Is there any other nominations for board chair? All right. Since there are no other nominations, I think we can just go to vote. I think we need a roll call vote since there's only one nomination. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Roll call. We've got everyone here except for Nicole. And we've got Shannon, of course, Hunstead's here, as well as Marcus, Jason Bourdon, and Barry Guest, and Brooke Belfer. No visitors or speakers today? Right. So, any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
All right, so do we have a motion to adopt the agenda as motion by Troy? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to number 6, public comments and rebel recognition. I don't think we have any public comments, but rebel recognition.
I asked, and I didn't get anything, so I'm trying to think. Welcome back after Christmas. No, I don't.
I do have one. Several band members got to go down to Fergus Falls for the honor band, and they did a nice performance. And it was from 7th grade to 12th grade. There was probably how many? About 6 or 7?
4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think 6. I don't remember how many.
Yeah. So it was. They did a great job. It's a good opportunity for the kids, and I may have had kids. So.
You may have. That's awesome.
So
kudos.
well done for those kids. Any other rebel recognition? And thanks to Josh for that too, for making that happen.
I don't think we've met since I think it was the basketball clubs that hosted the holiday tournament. I attended, was a great event, well put on, and I think both of our teams took part.
Yes, they did. They both did. Yeah.
Yeah, so great tournament and good turnout for basketball.
Yeah, I guess I'll say this too. One other thing is to the full admin team, so all of our directors and principals for all the work they've done for our work session earlier tonight. I just want to say thanks because they've put a lot of time and effort and a lot of debate and discussion between them. So just want to say thanks to them.
Yes, thank you. Any other rebel recognition? All right, we'll go on to number 7, 7.1 business manager report. All Marcus. Oh, I forgot to say Marcus is here.
So I think I'm just gonna stay over here because we kind of covered the room a little better. So first, we can probably go over the summary of the bills and the activity for the month. As far as December, there not a whole lot unusual besides if you look at the December summary, it's gonna show a very large deficit. I do want to cover that just because if you look at December bills for the 1216 line item in Fund 7, it shows a $3.6 million payment was made. So this payment covers the payoff of one of our 2010 bonds. So up until now, we've been making regular 6-month deposits into a sinking fund, or basically like a savings account, to prepare for that. So there was a $3.6 million payment for that. We have been building up to that. And if you look down at the bank balance detail, the last 3 lines, right now it shows 9,000, 4,000, and then 0. That covered it. Plus there was a little left over. So what we do with that is we can use that for further bond payments in the future. So it's something that we can kind of work with. It's not that much, but we did have the total amount in the bank, so we didn't have to pull from, the general fund or anything. So, as far as that, so those accounts are gonna get closed out eventually, but the 2010 payments now are all paid for, and we haven't had to levy for them recently, so there's gonna be no levy for those in the future either.
So do we do that? Do we do that for other bond payments, or do we have other accounts that were similar to what you're doing there?
The ones we have now are not being paid off in that same way. We don't have sinking funds for like the building project and stuff like that. So I'm not sure the reason why they went that way before or what it was when we set up. It might have been a requirement that it was set up that way, but currently the bonds that we are carrying are 2019, 2020, 2022. Those are just payments directly for principal and interest to holders of the bonds. And besides that, there wasn't a lot, from the typical for December. And we did, I guess, we probably received a little more revenue in Fund 7 than usual. We have some bond payments coming up February 1st for those bonds I had mentioned, the 19, 20, 22. So when that starts to get close, we kind of pick up on how our revenue comes in for that. So we had some county payments rather than state in December. So most of that we attribute to Fund 7. So we'll be preparing to make those things here. Then is there any questions on that? Any further questions? Okay, then we can go on to just the budget versus actual. It's kind of trending about where we would expect it at this time of the year. We're just under the 41% that you would typically see in December. And I'd say a few months ago, we were probably about a little over 1% away from that. And now we're kind of closing the gap. It's just kind of expected. This is the preliminary budget still. So we'll be doing the final budget for 26 next board meeting. So then those numbers could change somewhat depending on, because we've learned a lot since June when we made this preliminary budget. So when we do the final budget, we have a better understanding of where salaries are, where expenses are going. We kind of can see trends. So in the first February board meeting, we'll have a much clearer picture of how we are progressing. Any questions on that? And then finally, I think is the construction budget, the status of that. It's more just to cover what is still remaining to be paid. for Fund 6. So it kind of shows where we were as of 6:30, and that's the audited financials. And then how much we put into Fund 6 during this year, which is right around 27,000, and most of that is just attorney fees that are getting paid while we're in the process of eviction. Any questions on what we covered?
Any questions for Marcus? All right, thanks, Marcus.
Okay.
All right, we'll go on to 7.2, the board committee reports, facilities, transportation.
Well, that was a long time ago.
That's fair.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's the tough thing when you your mind with.
I have to come back to that. I don't know that I have my, let me look quick.
I'm sorry, I should have the agenda too, because we sat right over there and talked about it. I remember Troy and Brittany. Should we just table it till the next meeting?
Yeah, we
There was
should- we
nothing,
should.
there was no big decisions or big anything.
No, there's
on
nothing
that
on the
one,
agenda.
that
That's-
meeting. So,
It was the AD director and the land swap.
oh, we
Oh
were
my
talking,
gosh,
yeah, we were
Deborah.
talking land swap. And,
We had some
and then the
emails.
AD, and, okay, yeah, we're talking about the interviews were coming up for the AD, transportation director and land swap. Yeah, we did talk quite a bit about land swap. Yeah, different parcels and or pieces that were left. And you guys saw my weekly update that I did have a meeting last week, with Ellers and Moorhead. And then down at MSD, we're gonna have a little debriefing from Ellers. And then we'll be able to come back and have more information on that land swap. But some encouraging conversation there about a future plan, and I'm hoping within the next couple of months that we will be able to sit down with Moorhead School Board and our full school board, have a joint meeting and hammer something up. That's my hope, so. And then back to the AD Transportation Director, obviously in our meeting tonight, we're gonna approve somebody's contract, and Jason's here tonight, also, so you guys had a chance to visit with him. And so that was a successful, we had very strong candidates, and we're excited about what Jason's gonna do and how he's gonna help us.
Any questions for the facility and transportation committee? All right, we'll go on to the board work session. I guess I could handle that really. We had the board work session just prior to this meeting. We really went over sort of the process that the administration has gone through, starting from the referendum going down to on November 4th to looking at all of everyone's budget and sort of the back and forth between the different administrators, looking at all potential cuts, and all the different steps that have gone into that, from reviewing the budget, coming up with a dollar amount, and we're really looking at probably about $1 million in cuts that we'll need to make in order to make our budget. And the principals, the directors, looked at all their different departments and have come up with some general proposals that we looked at savings, and the dollar amount is about 1.1 million, and we're almost 1.2. And so there's going to be some flexibility in there as well, but trying to minimize the impact to students and staff. I don't know if anybody has anything else to add to that. Oh, we also talked about the calendar. Thank you. At the work session as well, looking at days off, snow days, and potentially coming up with a plan to have first 2 days forgiven, and then the next 2 days scheduled for days that we could pull from if we needed a snow day, and then potentially e-learning or a decision by the board after that. And yeah, that's about it. I don't know if there's anything else anybody wants to add. All right. we'll go on to number 7.3, the superintendent report.
Yeah, so the first thing I have on there, if you remember, we have a quarterly newsletter or a quarterly report I send out every quarter. And the last one was in December, and we talked about that levy. We talked about it at our truth and taxation meeting with the public then. I shared more information in my newsletter regarding what happened with the levy and our resident pupil units that we had it as the ones that just attend here, not the ones that also go elsewhere. And so that levy, our taxpayers felt that levy more this year than ever than they should have. The number should have included all students that are residents, even if they go somewhere else. So that number should have been in the 1400s, low 1400s, instead of the just under 1200. So what happens with that, and I'll say it again, some people had a misunderstanding thinking, well, now we're getting more money. There's no more money. It's $1.23 million we're getting. The difference is the state isn't giving us as much aid because of the number with the calculation is a smaller number, so it gets more on the local tax. What will happen in a year from now or next September is the state will get the correct number and they'll give us credit back. Everything gets corrected at year end after. By the time that we discovered that our resident pupil unit number was wrong, because we just had the ones that were attending our school and not going elsewhere, the state had already stamped it could not be changed. It was too late. So our taxpayers are feeling it this year, unfortunately. And so next year we'll get that credit back and we can share more details then. So I just want to make sure that is what I shared. I've had a few phone calls with some public people. I've had some emails I've discussed it, and after they've heard it, they said, oh, okay, I get it. It's not great news. I said it was a perfectly wrong thing. The timing was poor for us because we wouldn't want that to happen, especially as we just asked our taxpayers for a referendum. It's the world we're living in. So anyway, we'll make that adjustment and we'll be able to discuss that more next year. Second thing I have in there is the MSB conference. So that's the Minnesota School Board Association conference. That is this Wednesday night through Friday. So there are four board members and myself and Brooke that will be heading down Wednesday afternoon after school. We will be at the conference on Thursday and Friday morning, and sometime mid-morning or by noon we'll be starting to come back. Hopefully the weather holds, and that's good. One of the things, obviously, when we meet down there, there's a lot of sessions for board members. There's a lot of things for superintendents and that. It's a very good meeting. But the other part on Thursday at 1:40, that's when we're going to have that kind of an informal meeting with elders. They're going to kind of walk through the land swap situation. And so we're going to learn a lot from them and the financial impact of those parcels in Dilworth that are still in the Morehead district. And hopefully we get that much. So that'll be an important meeting for us as we head down there. I think I had something else. Sorry.
Future board meeting.
Future board meetings. Yeah.
Location.
Location. So we've been trying to figure out, is there a better permanent solution for our board meetings instead of community room? Oh, now we're in the media center. Oh, we're back there because of activities. It's tough for Katie as she schedules events, and then there's a makeup, and then there's a this, and then she feels bad. We get mad because it's like we can't keep moving. Tearing this room apart, it affects the media center. So we are going to try, and I guess I'd like this to be permanent, but we'll go there and figure it out, is we will be meeting in the Dilworth Media Center. So our next meeting in January, we'll meet in the Dilworth Media Center. We'll be right in front of the learning stairs. So anybody that wants to come and visit can sit in there. They can sit up above. There's chairs, and on the floor, there's room for us. There's sound in that room. There's TVs for display if we need to present or somebody needs to present. And the person that's going to be presenting, whether it's a principal and a director or whatnot, where the podium sits, it could be all on camera. It'll be a really good setup. So I'm hoping that can be probably a permanent site. And then whatever happens in gyms, it'll never be affected. So the only thing we got to worry about there is the book fair, which just happens a few times a year, but we can work around that. So anyway, so we will try that. That's where we'll meet in the end of January here. And then we'll go from there. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully everybody's happy and it works out and that can be a permanent home for us in the future. Questions?
I think just signage or something, maybe that's the direction we go or whatever, to make sure that the public has the ability to get there and find us. I mean, it is nice over there because it's right off, you're right in the main area for everybody to see us, and start to have the media centers, you might be a little bit too hidden back there for people, but there's signage, or every week they put something up so people know where to come in and how to get there.
Exactly. And there's some easels over there already. And then we even talked about if we need to get another one, but it's just right down Rebel Road, right? So if we have a couple signs there, and then as you get to the end, it can kind of do the old around the corner. So yeah, I agree. Troy and we did talk about that. And I think Brooke has already kind of got a plan. So yeah, but I agree.
Any other questions for Shannon? All right, we'll go on to number 8.1. This is to approve the regular meeting on December 16th, 2025. Do I have a motion? Motion by Laura. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Troy. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to number 9, this is a declaration of associations for possible conflict of interest. And so we do this every year, and if you have a conflict of interest in some manner, doesn't disqualify you from serving on the board, or usually doesn't. But it's just something for everyone to be aware of, so that if you have, your spouse's teacher, for instance, or you have a nephew that is selling porn to the school. I don't know.
Yeah, so we have contracts with certain companies, Fox Sanitation, some of those, if it's anybody here, but
I think I say it every year, but
Thank
my
you.
mother-in-law. So, but we used them before I was on.
Anybody? I think my nephew does, or has sold corn to the
food service,
to the food service.
are you benefiting from that in any way?
I
Is
don't
he
think
benefiting?
so.
'Cause-
I got some free corn from him before. I don't know if it's qualified. Any other conflict? All right, we'll go on to number 10.1. This is to nominate the office of vice chair person. So I am opening the floor for any nominations.
I guess I nominate Nicole, but she's not here. Can I still do that?
You sure can.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel bad she can't defend herself, but
Nicole has been nominated. Do we have any other nominations for vice chair? Any other nominations for vice chair? All right, hearing none, all those in favor for Nicole to be the vice chairperson, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to 10.2. This is to nominate clerk. So I'm opening the floor to any nominations for clerk.
more of you still want to be the
I
clerk.
was waiting. I was just asking Troy.
Troy, do you want to do it? Do you want to duke it out? You- Actually, yes.
I nominate Troy.
Oh, look at that, I
I mean, there's
Troy
one
is-
more if Troy wants to be the treasurer though.
Troy.
There's still
Oh,
another
that's right.
option.
Troy has been nominated. Is there any other nominations for clerk? Any other nominations for clerk? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries Troy's not clerk. All right, 10.3, this is to nominate a treasurer. I'm opening the floor for the board member to nominate a treasurer.
I nominate Brittany.
Brittany has been nominated. Do we have any other nomination?
I nominate Micah.
Micah. All right, do we have any other nominations?
Waste my money on fishing equipment.
Do we have any other nominations? All right, because we have two members nominated, we'll go by roll call. The pressure is on. I don't think there's hard feelings. Troy.
Do I say that?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had to do this in my
And it could be a
7 years.
3-3 tie, and then
Janet looks mortified.
Yeah,
we're in a place we don't know, so.
So Brittany.
I can't vote.
Brittany,
Oh, my goodness.
Micah. I'll do Micah.
Do you want to do both?
Well, I'm voting for you.
So it comes down.
Okay, then I'll vote for me too. Brittany.
Go now, Ralph.
Brittany.
Okay, we have 3-3 tie.
Oh,
Who did you say?
Or did you say
I said
Brittany?
Brittany.
Oh,
Oh, I
Brittany.
said Brittany, that's what I thought, yeah.
Okay, Brittany is the treasurer.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We almost-
All right. We go on to number 11. Phew. This is, this will be for the consent agenda. This is to approve the bills to date for January 2026 in the amount of,
$116,692.13.
all right, pretty good. This is to approve
Yeah, I
and
said it all
file.
you. Missed opportunity.
Like Banner.
Yeah.
This is, and also to approve and file for audit the treasurer's monthly budget report. And then to approve the retirement of Demita Underwood, elementary teacher, effective the end of the 2025-2026 school year. Approve the resignation of Eddie Small, food service, effective January 14th, 2026. Approve the resignation of Melinda Labs, custodian, effective January 16th, 2026. And approve the resignation of Christine Nita, food service, effective January 7th, 2026. Do I have a motion? Motion by Troy. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by. Any questions or discussion?
Just thank you. Demita's been here a long time.
She has.
So,
I mean, it's been here a very long time. Yep.
for years of service.
We wish her nothing but the best and return.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to number 12.1. This is to approve the school board compensation, essentially as presented in your packet, and that is to have chairperson monthly stipend of $100, clerk and treasurer bi-yearly stipend of $50, and all board members receive $300 a month. When board members travel a distance for meetings, mileage and meals will be paid at the federal government rate. And board members will receive an extra $50 per negotiation meeting attended. That is how it's been, but we can make a motion to make any changes you want.
Was the clerk role, wasn't there not a stipend for that? I thought that was,
We changed, we lowered it. It's always been a stipend, but we matched it to the treasurer last
It
time.
used to be more because of the
Okay,
note
okay,
taking, and
that's
then
it.
remember when we shifted some of that
I
responsibility?
mean, I totally know that. I remember that from the case. Okay.
You're in a different tax bracket now.
So I don't know if anybody wants to make a motion that is different than that. They could do that, or they can make a motion as to the effect of how it's been previously. If you want to give the chairperson a big raise, that's fine too.
I make a motion. We just approve.
First, got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Micah, any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, on to number 12.2. This is to set the 2026 board meeting calendar. And calendar was in your packet. With the dates, essentially, we have 2 meetings a month. Except for the month of December, where there's 1 meeting.
And June.
And then we talked about the June and July, we'd have one in the summer months as well.
June, July, and August, we have 1 meeting during those times. So that's would be a change from what we've done in the past.
Correct.
And the meeting schedule is essentially the, is it second Monday
Second and fourth,
and second and fourth? Second and fourth Mondays of each,
and the third Monday of the summer.
In the summers for
and
bills.
third Monday. in-
Yeah.
Do I have
And then it does have the new location too. We just left that, so hopefully it can just stay that way. As long as that works out.
Do I have a motion to adopt that as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Brittany. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Angela. Any questions or discussion? And the time is also at 6 p.m. So just a note to everyone. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 12.3. In your package, we have lane changes for teachers. And this is to approve the lane changes as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Micah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion?
I got one. So to go from might be dumb, because I'm not a teacher here or whatever, but, when I look at the past or whatever, it looks like they'll go from like a BA +10 to a +20, but we do have one that goes from a +10 to a +30. They skip a level, so is that common, or is that
Trying to find it here.
the top line?
Oh, yep, yep. There was a bunch of credits that were from previous and then now these got on top of it. So yeah, they were all previously approved. Yeah, I remember that person specifically.
So you can jump another level? not
Yep,
go from
yep,
20.
just because, so what can sometimes happen is, let's say they have 9 credits, then well, they can't bump yet. And she's right up there, and well, now the next time she had now she got to it. Yeah, she paid, yeah,
Or something.
and she's already, then she got a double move, so, yep. That's how, unfortunately for her, we could say, she just missed it,
Yeah.
and then unfortunately now she'll get it both. kind of deal. Yep, no, that's a good question, but yeah.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On 12.4, this is to approve the donations as presented in your packet, and
There's a lot.
oh boy,
There's a gazillion of them because.
We've got a
it was
bunch
for
of them,
the
so-
recess.
yeah, so I will go through them. Donations of $500 from the Awesome Foundation for EL Family Night. $3,743.75 from the Parent Association for the media center items. Oh, the front back. Holy smokes.
Can we
Okay.
just, can we just say they're
As
for
we-
indoor recess?
Cause there's a,
Taylor Scheid, $316, or that's employee accepting it. Anonymous, $316.30. This is for 3rd grade FSA book. Amanda Schoen, board game and STEM manipulative for indoor
so
recess.
I think all the rest are for indoor recess. We had a,
Okay.
I don't know, I wanna say like 25-ish
Oh.
individuals that gave, there was for when kids have to stay in because of the weather, we asked if anybody wanted to give, and I think there was over 25 people that gave some games, activities, they're just the various
Yeah.
items. So
I'll
just thank you.
I'll just read their names.
There you go.
Ashley Nelson, John and Whitney Bellin, Peggy Craignis, Mandy Watney, Emily Swenson, Amy Friend, Kelly Hammernick, Heather John, Peggy Hayes, Annalise and Dustin Ritzema, Mark and Kathy Jund, Lindsay Olson, Kayla McIntyre, Haley Krieger, Michael and Victoria Anderson, Renee Mahonen, Andy and Danny Witter, Kami Torgerson, Jessica Holitz, Sarah and Brady Bikema, Andrea DeJong, Lizette Sunday, Mindy Ogre with. Anyway, I apologize for butchering the names that I butchered, but obviously we thank all these people for that. Because this is a donation, we have a resolution for accepting donations. Donations require 2/3 vote and of the board, and we just essentially it's a summary of the resolutions that we approve all these various donations to the school. So do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Troy. Do I have a second?
Second. Oh, sorry.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion?
Just thank you to all of them that stepped up to help out. It's wonderful.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go by roll call. Troy?
Aye.
Laura?
Aye.
David? Aye. Brittany?
Aye.
Micah? Angela?
Aye.
Resolution passes. All right, we'll go on to 12.5. This is to approve the confidential contract for Jason Wardine, Transportation Activities Director, effective March 23rd, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So,
Motion by Laura. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Micah. Any questions or discussion?
Thanks for being here, Jason. We're excited about what's next.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to 12.6, this is to approve the non-certified contract for Seth Corfi, custodian, class 2, step 1, effective January 19th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
so
Motion by Laura. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Troy. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 13.1, the next board meeting is January 26, 2026, at 6 p.m. in the Dilworth Media Center. And we will work to have appointment of school board district committee representative.
Yep, so we'll have to work on, so what committees everybody will be on for
Yeah.
the rest of the year.
Just as a side note, I probably am going to merge personnel and negotiation committee back together since that really didn't work out the way I thought it might. Any case, if you have committees that you'd like to be on, please let me know, and I will work to get people on committees that they want to be on. On to number 14, this is to adjourn the regular meeting, the Dilworth Glen Felton School Board. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Micah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is
Laura, you'll talk to Troy about any training that he has?
Well, I'm just gonna start by signing the agenda.
Someone wanted to go home.